Cool. Good afternoon, Virtual Village Hall. We are back again. Another month has passed. Hard to believe. But yeah, back with some guided meditation here on the Virtual Village Hall. And so we'll give it a few minutes just to allow people to join the live meditation. But as people join, say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm currently in my van, actually. So I am converting my van into a more comfortable place to spend some time, sort of a bit of traveling and all that kind of thing. But as you can see at the moment, this is not quite the aesthetic that I'm going for. Space Capsule was not the look that I was aiming for. I am at the bare bones of insulating and designing everything. So yeah, there's nothing really to show you. I am in a pretty empty shell of a van, but hopefully next time that we tune in live here in the van, it will be a lot more pretty, a lot more to show you, hopefully. So I've got Elizabeth Rose tuning in from Scotland. Amazing, welcome. Nice to have you, Elizabeth. And also, yeah, so let me know where you're tuning in live from. Let me know how the weather is for you. I was enjoying a lovely sunny week here in the south of England, but now it's a bit grey and windy, actually. Pretty windy today, very windy. And which is why I'm going to stay in the van. And if you're tuning in, let me know your experience with meditation, if you've joined in with these live meditations before, or maybe you've tuned back into some of the recorded shows on the Virtual Village Hall. I know that the Royal Voluntary Service, they have a YouTube where you can catch up and watch all the things that they show here on the Facebook page. So Jeanette, you're in Wigan and the sun is shining. I'm jealous, I'll be honest. I was hoping to be sat outside doing this. That would have been really quite lovely, but that was not to be today. So yeah, we'll give it a few more minutes again, just so anybody who's joining in can make sure they're here. So today, I'm feeling like doing a meditation that mostly involves breath work, because I keep trying to think, what have I not done on here? Obviously, I've been here every single month now for nearly, I think the lockdown started, and then consistently every month for the last couple of years, maybe. So I've done most meditations by now. So I'm trying to think if there is anything I haven't done, and I'm pretty sure I've not done one breath work on here before. So we're going to do that. We're going to include that into a meditation. And so the meditation, it's going to be about 15 to 20 minutes in total. I like teaching this breath work because basically it consists of 4 parts. There's 4 parts to this meditation, 4 different breath works. And this is a really good way to practice meditation when you're trying to increase how long you can sit and meditate for. Obviously, if you've got 4 sections to the meditation, first of all, that's going to sort of keep you locked in. So, you've got your first section, second section, third section, fourth. So if your mind kind of drifts in a section, you're going to remember at some point, oh, now I need to change to do a different breath work. So it's going to really catch, if you have a habit of becoming distracted in your meditation, this practice is really good for making you catch yourself to bring you back into your meditation. So there's that, but also the fact that each of the 4 sections, let's say you were using a timer, then you could incrementally increase how long you sit and meditate for. So let's say, you're a 5-minute meditator, a 10-minute meditator, and you're starting to think about increasing your ability to sit for a longer period of time, then by 30 seconds to a minute, you can add to each section, and that way, start increasing the length of time for which you're sitting, but also you're not having to just sit there the whole duration doing the same meditation. So it kind of breaks it up, which in a way, makes it a little bit easier for those newer to meditation. So the meditation we're going to be doing today, we're going to do alternate nostril breathing to begin with. Now, the way that we do this, there's two ways of doing it, and this is my preferred way. So I place my index finger and middle finger on my forehead. I place my thumb on one nostril and my ring finger on the other. And then you close one nostril, inhale through the open one. You then swap the nostrils and exhale through the other. Inhale through the same, exhale through the other, inhale through the same, exhaling through the other. So you're passing a deep breath between the nostrils, in through one, out through the other, in through the same, out through the other. So that is the first part of our meditation. We'll do about 4 to 5 minutes of that. After that, we'll do a breath work called Samavriti Pranayama, equal ratio breathing. You breathe in for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold the exhale for a count of 4. So 4 parts to that section of the breathing. And again, each part of your breath is as long as the other. The third part of the breath, similar, but now the ratio, you breathe in for 8, hold for 4, exhale for 8, and hold for 4. So the inhale and the exhale are as long as each other, and the holding of the breath is half as long. Okay, that's the third section, and the fourth section and final is the ratio is 7171. And 7171 really is meant to bring you into your sort of heart center. The ratio of 7171 is very similar to our natural breathing rhythm. So it's meant to really mimic our natural breath. So, we really connect to our lungs, to our heart center, to our chest, and feel this part of our body. Okay. So obviously I'll talk you through things. Please do leave a comment now and I'll see if I can respond to you. If not, then, I can always respond after the meditation is done. So if everybody is ready, the way to the more meditative way to do this practice is by sitting up. If you're sitting up, then you are going to be alert, you're going to be engaged. All you need to make sure is that your pelvis is tilted forward, so you need your knees lower than your hips. That way you can tilt the pelvis forward and your spine is perfectly set for you to sit for a longer period of time. You can do this laying down. That will be more of a relaxation practice because it's more likely that you're going to fall asleep. Laying down sends the message to the body that it's time to rest. And so it's unless you're well practiced in meditation, it's very unlikely that you're going to remain awake and alert and engaged for the whole duration of the practice if you are lying down, Okay, there's not been any questions in the comments, so I think everybody must be happy to go. Super. Right then, so come to sitting in a comfortable sitting position. You're sitting cross-legged or kneeling, whichever is your preference. Just making sure that you can tilt your pelvis forwards, lengthen through your spine, rolling your shoulder blades backwards and closing your eyes. Just taking a moment to feel your breath. Normal breathing, natural breaths. Starting to gather your focus, your concentration, as you shift your attention away from thoughts, away from thinking, as you settle into your body, into feeling. Tuning into every feeling, every sensation that your body has to offer. Sensations of touch on the skin, temperature, Feel the weight of your body as you sit here now. And as you settle, can you soften? Softening your body, shoulders, softening your jaw. No thoughts need thinking about, and there is nowhere else to be. Taking control of your breath, breathing in deeper. Deep belly breaths in and out through the nose. Every inhale as deep as you can, breathing into your belly, filling your lungs. As you exhale, squeezing all the breath out of your body. And deeper breaths in and longer breaths out. And so as you breathe, bring your index finger and middle finger to resting on your forehead. Place your thumb on one nostril and your ring finger on the other. Closing one nostril, breathe in deeply through the open one. Swapping the nostrils and exhaling through the other. Inhaling through the same, exhaling through the other. Inhaling through the same, exhaling through the other. Keep it going. Nadi, Shodhana, Pranayama. Alternate nostril breathing. Passing a deep breath between your nostrils. Breathing fully, using your lungs. Feel the breath coming in through one nostril. Feel the breath as you squeeze it out through the other. Find the rhythm. As you work with this breath work, feel free to bring a pause between the inhale and the exhale. Suspending the breath, holding the breath for a moment, for as long as you like. When we hold our breath, the body is at its most still. When our body is at its most still, this allows us to drop in even deeper, deeper into the stillness. But otherwise, finding a rhythm, and for a few more rounds, continue with Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. Keeping the same level of focus on your breathing, bringing your hand away from your face as we move into Samavriti Pranayama, equal ratio breathing. Inhaling for a count of 4, holding for a count of 4. Exhaling for a count of 4, holding the exhale for a count of 4. 4 parts to every breath, each as long as the other. Counting at a speed, at a pace that is comfortable for you. Counting to a number that is comfortable. The number is not so important. What is important is the ratio. Each part of your breath as long as the other. You can be counting in your head, or if as you sit here, maybe you can feel your heart beating in your chest. If you can feel your heart beating, use the beating of your heart as the measure to count by. Breathing in for 4 heartbeats, holding for 4 heartbeats, exhaling for 4 heartbeats, holding the exhale for 4 heartbeats. If you do the practice in this way, you may notice that at certain parts of your breath, the rate at which your heart beats changes. If this is the case, continue. 4 heartbeats to every part of your breath. However, if you cannot feel your heart, just counting in your head. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. As you use Samavriti Pranayama, notice if any part of your breath is more challenging. Maybe the inhale or the exhale does not feel so easy. Just observing your breath. And if there is a part that is a struggle, continue with the practice all the same. In this way, your practice can identify functions that are a struggle, parts of your breath that are not so easy. The meditation can highlight these struggles, but in continuing with the practice, with resuming without giving up, it can start to change this, making it easier. And so now we change from Samavriti Pranayama to Ajna centering, breathing in for 8, holding for 4, exhaling for 8, and holding for 4. So now, the inhale and the exhale, twice as long as the breath hold. Again, make it manageable. If the ratio of 8-4, 8-4 is too much of a challenge, then make it 4-2, 4-2, or 6-3, 6-3. A little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a struggle, This is good. It shows you an area to work on, to work through. But if the practice is too challenging, again, adjust. Make it manageable. Breathing in for 8, holding for 4, exhaling for 8, holding for 4. Again, maybe you are able to use your heartbeat as the measure to count your breath. But again, if this is not available, then simply counting in your head, fully focused on the rhythm of your breathing. As you work with this part of the meditation, with this breath work, again, notice and observe what this breath does inside of you, where the challenges, where the struggle may be. But maybe notice that your center of attention, the concentration of your focus, moves through your body. And this breath work is called ajna centering. Ajna being the third eye chakra. Between the eyebrows, in the middle of the forehead. This is the energy center of ajna. Your center of imagination, the center of the energy that contained your purpose. When you really connect to this chakra, this center of your body, you may see a color. Each chakra with its own corresponding color. And here in the third eye, tends to find a dark purple. A dark purple, a dark blue, almost black. So if you notice, if you see any color, it's there. And so now we come to our final breath work. Inhale for 7, holding for 1. Exhale for 7, holding for 1. Anahata centering. Again, this breath work, the ratio closely related to the natural rhythm of our breath. And so as you work, breathing in for 7, holding for 1, exhaling for 7, holding for 1. Again, notice where your focus shifts. Does this breath work guide your attention, your energy inside of you? You should find that this practice really brings you into your heart center, into your lungs, into your chest. The Anahata chakra, the heart center. Maybe for this breath work, you find it easier to feel the beating of your heart. If you can feel your heart, then again, using the beating of your heart as the measure to count by. But again, if not, counting in your mind. Breathe in for 7, holding for 1, exhaling for 7, holding for 1. Here, your heart center. This is the center of love, of joy. This is a center we should seek to connect with as often as possible. If you can walk through your day centered in your heart, centered in the energy of love and of joy, then that is what you give to those around you. In this center, the corresponding color is a beautiful emerald green. Green is the color of the heart. And so just for a few more rounds, connecting to this part of yourself, connecting to your heart, and in doing so, allowing this energy to grow, to expand, to spread beyond you. And so shortly, we will be finishing our meditation. And so just prepare yourself to let go of your practice by taking 3 deep belly breaths, in and out through the nose. And so then when you're ready, opening your eyes, coming back to the day. Super. So that was a good 20 minutes of meditation. As I said at the beginning, this is a very good practice that you can use to start extending how long you're able to sit for. When you do this practice yourself, you can just set a little timer. Have your timer go off every 4 or 5 minutes. That way, you're keeping your engagement in the meditation for the whole duration, whilst practicing different breath works, and really exploring how they serve you. You know, each breath work, every meditation, all these practices are tools. And the more that we use these tools, the better we can understand them, the better we can appreciate when to use them and how they serve us the best. So, for example, the second breath work we did, Samavriti Pranayama, the equal ratio breathing. If I go to bed and I'm not really ready for bed, then I do that breath work and it tends to really just carry me off to sleep. You know, really centers me, quietens my mind, gets me ready to settle, really, to go to sleep. The first breath work, the alternate nostril breathing, that is a very calming, relaxing, but it's actually, it balances your energies. So yin and yang. Your right nostril is yang energy, your left nostril is yin energy. And so by alternate nostril breathing, what you find is that one of your nostrils is dominant, and every 3 to 4 hours, your dominant nostril switches. But depending also on the activities that you've been doing, will also affect which is the dominant nostril. So say, for example, you've been to the gym, you've exerted a lot of energy, your body is now in a state of wanting to rest, then it will be the left nostril that becomes dominant. Now, the idea with this practice is that through enough practice, you balance both of your energy channels so that yin and yang are neither is dominant. You know, they work together at all times, and that's the idea of that practice. So, you know, when you're feeling a little bit sort of maybe a bit chaotic, a bit all over the place, you know, that breath work, alternate nostril breathing, is a really good way to just bring yourself back and you know, clear the mind and quieten the mind. So again, you know, I don't want to tell you when to do these practices or how you should use them. That really is up for you to explore, really. So we'll keep practicing more over the months ahead. Plenty more meditations on the way. So please, well, thank you all very much for those of you who tuned in live. I do appreciate the audience and the participants joining in. Those of you tuning in at a later time, again, thank you to you as well. Please leave a comment. Let us know how you found this session, how it worked for you. And if you have any questions, you know, I do see the comments. I can come back and respond to them. So, you know, don't feel that you've missed out on your opportunity to ask a question, basically. But I think that will be all for today. So I wish you all a very wonderful day. Thank you very much. And I will see you next month.